Good morning. Welcome to the Circle of Alchemy Sisters. My name is Dedra. We are here with Kristi Lynn, my co-host. Today we are going to talk about the Blue Avians and their role in the evolution of humanity. They are also a part of the Galactic Federation, and each race or interdimensional has a role to play, and the evolution of humanity, the New Earth program, 5D, what we're transitioning into. So we're going to bring them in and talk about their role in all of this.
Yes, that was beautiful. I love you. And we listen. This air is thick in here, right?
Yes.
Like you channeled this morning, invited them in this morning. So when I walked in here, whoo, we were both like, huh, what's going on in here? The energy is insane, right? So, and we also, I think in our last podcast, we were talking about how it can get addicting to connect to energy, because today's a perfect example. It literally feels like we are on drugs, does it not?
I sat in my chair and I felt so heavy and so floaty, like in my head, wavy, that I'm like, I really feel like I just smoked a lot of weed. I do.
Okay, maybe. Okay, yeah. It's addicting. It feels good, right? Mm-hmm. Once you get used to it, because at first you're like, what's going on? It's hard to breathe, right? But now, as it's settling in, it's just really intense. It's really intense. The Blue Avians are high vibratory beings. High vibratory. They've already warned us. They won't be channeling long because I don't channel them on a regular basis. My body's not attuned to it, so they said they will exhaust me. So whatever messages they have, we're going to bring through in a timely manner so that I can get on with the rest of my day.
I feel like I need to hold my head up.
I know. So let's describe the physical feelings so that people will understand maybe when you're connecting with something on the other side compared to a panic attack, an anxiety attack.
And it could feel different for each individual, but we pretty much have the same feelings when we compare them. Mm-hmm. To me, it's almost like if you were to be at a fair and the little things that spin you around, not physically are you like sick and can't wait to throw up, but like in a sense, it's almost like a slow motion kind of spin.
Yes.
And then it's just like a really feel good. It's not dreadful. It's a feel good. It's like you're floating. It's like you're super freaking happy and you're just having the best day and everything is going right. Sometimes you can feel a little bit like in your gut, right in here, and hard to breathe. Sometimes like you feel like you have a lot of anxiety and you're just trying to breathe it out. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah. And I get sometimes tingling in my nose and I'll want to cry for like no reason at all. So I really do want to bring forward that energy. It's very familiar to a lot of people. It's probably you could convince yourself that you were having a panic attack and actually promote yourself into, that, right? Yeah. Okay, so I just want to bring people's awareness to, let's pay attention, like not always do we have to work ourselves up into, oh my God, this is a panic attack. Mm-hmm. Let's start to recognize that some of us have a lot of gifts. We've been channeling nonstop, but the veil is so thin. So there's going to be so much contact with energy that we can't see. Mm-hmm. So when we're feeling that, just lean into it instead of trying to get away from it and being scared of it. I want you to lean into it and just be like, okay, who's trying to tell me something? Mm-hmm. Someone is trying to tell me something. This is a feeling that I now recognize. It's happened many, many times in my life. It comes out of nowhere. And instead of being fearful of it, I'm going to lean into it and I'm going to listen and I'm going to feel and I'm going to enjoy, but I'm not going to be addicted to it once I realize it's from the other side. It's from the other side. We get addicted to that, right?
Right.
And this is the Blue Avians bringing through their message, okay? Because they're saying our role is coming in very, very soon with the humans. We have already sprinkled some of our energy down, and there are many channels who work with the Blue Avian energy. But she's saying the Pleiadians are sort of the leaders right now. They are bringing forward the energy of New Earth first, and the Lyrans coming in second, and we are that final sort of boom push, right? That's part of our contract. She's saying that there's different races working with the evolution of humanity, okay? And they all say have certain sectors that they work under. So some will be working with Arcturian energy to bring forward the new energy, the new Earth energy. Some will be working with Blue Avian. Some will be working with Pleiadian. Some have many contacts. Some have many contracts. So there are many, many, many different races here for the evolution of humanity. When you're trying to connect with, say, the extraterrestrial energy, we do urge you to use those words, that you are wanting to connect to the extraterrestrials for the forward movement of the humanity project, right? We want to make sure that we're connecting to friends who are like-minded.
Mm-hmm.
We want to move forward in the energy of peace on earth, of loving your brothers and sisters as they are, and allowing people to be exactly who they are, standing in their own authenticity, owning their own power, being the energetic beings that you really are, manipulating time and space. You can all do that. And that is what the energy that we are bringing forward is. But it is not our time yet for you and this sector that you are with. You are working with Pleiadians. That is the heavy energy that exists within your channels, within your forward movement of your part of humanity, of your contract with the Galactic Federation. So the people who are drawn to this podcast also will be drawn to that Pleiadian energy. It is Pleiadian energy that we are bringing forward through this channel and this podcast. Now, we will connect with many, many, many other extraterrestrial races as I am here, as you had a guest yesterday. Different extraterrestrial races will be popping in, but the main source of energy is that Pleiadian energy, because that's the energy that you two are the most familiar with, that you two feel, and that your energy of your audience will be drawn to. Do you have questions for us while we are here?
So do all of the Blue Avian race have the same task in the role of evolution of humanity?
No. We are a completely free will society. We actually only choose to work with free will societies. We do not believe in the enslavement. We believe everyone should have the free will to do exactly as they choose to do and live their life. So no, I have chosen to be a warrior for planet Earth. They're saying that there has been a prophecy. There has been a prophecy for thousands of years. We all knew that this was coming, and we prepared for it. And that's what we're here for. There is a prophecy being fulfilled on Earth right now, and we are here to help move that prophecy along.
That is beautiful.
It is beautiful. To be a human on planet Earth is a very, very honorable, beautiful thing. And we do not want you to take it for granted at all. You are absolutely in complete control of your energy in your life. You can create whatever circumstances you desire to create. You are a completely energetic being in a spacesuit. Your human body is just your spacesuit. You are this beautiful, powerful, energetic being. And he keeps showing me like is it the airbender or whatever? That's like really what he keeps showing me, that us humans, We have so much power within all of these magic centers in our hands, in our heart. Our hands and our chakras in our hands connected with our heart energy is so powerful that we can bend time and space. Like I see these wonderful, beautiful, amazing women on my TikTok moving crystals with their energy and spinning tinfoil, and it is so beautiful to me. And they're saying that's nothing. You can do so much more. It's just that you have been fully conditioned since basically almost the beginning of humanity, right? Once you were created and you were sort of taught how magical you are by the one side, it was noticed very quickly that you were going to be too powerful, and for your own good, it was condition that out. Breathe that out. Get that out, right? But now we're saying is the time that we rise back into the original power that you really were born into. You were born into this beautiful power. You were created with this beautiful power and conditioned out of it. And we are here to condition you back to be your personal trainers. And they're bringing up the gym, like we're here to train you. We're here to train you on how to live and be and do the way that humanity was originally intended for, to be magical, wonderful beings. Do you have questions?
Is there more than one Blue Avian that has come through?
I feel like I'm speaking for a collective.
A collective. Okay.
Yeah, the Blue Avian energy as a collective.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I feel very settled into it. I will say that my legs are very heavy and kind of like shivery. Like my legs are shivering underneath the table. I am kind of like, I'm shivery. So, but it doesn't feel bad. It's sinking in. It's not as intense as it was before.
Okay. When do you think we will have the energy of the Blue Avians? What time frame do you think you could give us?
They're saying, now they're bringing up, they're bringing up Lee Harris actually, and they're bringing up the Z's.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, and they're saying they align with their time frame of 5 to 10 years. Is really when things will really be amping up for planet Earth. But in that time is sort of your growth of standing into really only half of your power. Only half. But because humanity is moving along so fast, because there are so many of you as a collective who have come to realize that, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right, this doesn't feel true, and really digging deep and searching for the truth beyond what anyone has told you. There are so many of you on Earth that it is really, really, really progressing the energy that's on Earth, okay? They're also bringing up that you don't have to be into spirituality to have a high vibration and to advance the energetic society that is on Earth. You don't have to do what we do. You don't have to connect to the cards. You don't have to meditate. You don't have to do those things. You just have to be for the forward movement of humanity, evolution. You don't have to believe in a higher spirit. You don't have to connect to a higher spirit. You just have to have the forward movement of humanity as an energy that exists.
So let's get a little clarity on that to help people to understand a little more. So it's just staying in a positive, like being loving. It's more or less like, what kind of energy are we talking about?
He's saying, they are saying, being in the mind frame of whatever it takes for the forward movement of humanity. So yes, if that falls under being loving, being kind, being compassionate, being accepting, yes, your own version of the forward movement of humanity in the most loving, kind way. Yeah. Yes. They're saying that connecting to a higher spirit is beautiful. There are many here for you to connect with. They're saying many ascended masters for you to connect with, many goddesses, many queens, many kings, many high authority, beautiful energies for you to connect to on earth. But if you choose to not, that is acceptable as well, as long as you are living within the forward movement of society, the forward movement of earth in your heart chakra, really doing what's best for humanity. It's okay. You don't have to believe anything. We don't care what you believe. We don't care. You won't find an extraterrestrial. You won't find an energy for the forward movement of earth that will care what you believe, as long as you believe in supporting humanity and moving forward humanity. Each one of us have our own beliefs. Each one of us have our own version of God, all that is, creator. It's up to interpretation, because the creator that I know, the creator that I accept as my creator, is beyond any concept that you could ever imagine. There is no one word or belief that could encompass the God that I, as an extraterrestrial species, could ever imagine.
That's a lovely explanation. It is truly beautiful.
Yes, it is. Believing in God is beautiful. Mm-hmm. Believing in a higher power, believing in the spirit of the breath, of the wind, of the anything is God. Anything is God. Anything is God. The breath that you take, the eyes that you look through, the visions that you see, the leaves on the trees, the grass, the water, it is all. You cannot dial it down to one single thing. So everything is acceptable. Everything is acceptable as long as you are loving humanity. Loving humanity. That's the energy that I desire to connect with.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming in and delivering this beautiful message on the behalf of your collective. Thank you.
Absolutely. It is a privilege and an honor. And anytime you call upon us, we will be here.
Thank you. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I just would like to add that the work that you are doing here on Earth as a collective, as the fifth dimensional collective, we want to congratulate you. We want to say congratulations. You have done it. You have done it. You have gotten over the hump. They're saying, like, there's more of you than not. Your power as light beings is like, okay, one light being represents 100 to 1,000 sort of human beings. Like, it's just like one of us enlightened beings, conscious beings, equals 1,000 men. Okay?
Wow.
I mean, men. Just like
right.
Humans.
Yes.
Right? So one light equals 1,000 dark. Just boom, eliminates that energy, right? So they're saying there are so many of you on the planet that even though at this time it feels hateful and it feels chaotic and it feels scary a little bit and a little worrisome, know that this is just the last grab. It's the last grab. And there is no way that they would be able to take the light from you. The light is winning. The darkness it's trying. It's grasping at straws. It's doing everything it can to keep humanity exactly where they are. But there are so many more of you light beings that there's no power. They have no power. You are winning. You are winning in the light war that is happening on Earth. The light is winning. The light is winning. Be proud of yourselves for that. It's an honor and a privilege to be working with humanity on the New Earth Project. And I am glad to be able to now participate in conversations with you about the New Earth Project.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
Whew. Okay. Okay, so hang on. Clear Alt Delete. Clear Alt Delete. So we got to get me out of that. We have to
I figured you would need a second to kind of stabilize your energy for a second.
Yeah.
Do you need a drink of water? Because I do.
Well, the problem is, where do we go moving forward? Is there anyone else who wants to come through? So I just kind of sit and wait in limbo to like.
Syrian popped in my head as we were talking.
Okay. Okay. I do not know Syrian energy at all. I don't know anything about the Syrians at all. As I talk about them, I do get an image of my head, of them in my head. But I don't know them. I don't know their energy. So. Like I said, I just, as a channel, I kind of sit in limbo and just wait.
Right.
To see what energy is going to come forward and speak.
So when you're talking about how there was going to be, well, when they were channeling through you about how there was going to be different races coming through as we go through the podcast, Syrian came through.
Okay, well, that would encourage me to start studying the Syrians, right? As a channel. Like once you're my partner, and if you're being told something, then I'm going to follow through and learn about them. So once I start studying the Syrian energy, that will bring Syrians through, right?
Okay.
Just us talking about them, it's like ding, 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 ding. They're lighting up and they're saying, you know, here we are, here we are, here we are. Get familiar with us, understand the energy that we bring through, and then we will come through and relay our messages that we have for you.
That's amazing. Okay, that would be awesome because I don't know much about them either.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Okay, so I obviously have Avon here. Avon is always here. Avon is always willing to talk to us. He says the New Earth Project is going well. I agree with everything that the Blue Avians have just brought through. I love the conversation you had with, so he kind of wants to talk about the seventh dimension. I don't know anything about the seventh dimension, right? We tried to look up some things, and like really there's no information other than and that
it's the veil between physical and light, and it is like a movement through time. So we got that they could travel time, and so we're kind of just piecing things together.
Yeah, I have no information about the seventh dimension at all, so I love that Avon can bring through some information.
We did get that there are humans currently on Earth that exist here that can do this.
That can connect to the seventh dimension.
Yes.
And that would include the astral travelers and the remote viewers because they are actually moving through time and space to see other places. So, okay, so Avon's bringing through the seventh dimension is a dimension that anyone on Earth can connect to. Certain people, it's like an empty space. It feels like a void. It feels like in the seventh dimension, there's not really rules because it's not there, you know, it's just not there. It's just something that is in the in between, right? And he's saying, so a lot of creation can come from the seventh dimension, but it's a little dangerous as an untrained traveler to go to the seventh dimension because it is traveling space and time, and you could actually convince yourself that you were stuck there, right? You could convince yourself as a human that you were stuck in the nothingness. So you have to be very responsible when you are trying to really lucid dream and remote view. We want you to stay safe. We want you to stay grounded. The earth is where you live. This is where you live. This is where you have to come back to all the time. You are grounded into that third dimensional earth-like energy, okay? So when you go to the seventh dimension, which is, we do want you to participate and we do want you to experiment, because it is possible for you as just a quote unquote normal human to astral travel. You absolutely can do that. I would just encourage you, before you start really getting into it, to study the studies. There are many, many, many people and humans who have experience with this, who have done this for many years. They were born doing this. They are shadow walkers. The humans that are here on Earth, like a light worker or a starseed, there are also what we call shadow walkers. And they can walk in between the shadows and reality. They can weave in and out. And they are actually very, very important on this earth because they sort of bring forward everyone's worst fears. They are triggers. They trigger people into looking at their worst fears, into living in the darkness so that they can escape the darkness, right? Shadow walkers are very important in society, in the human society, because they show you everything that you are afraid of and make you face it. So if you have a shadow walker in your life, it will be dramatic. It will be dramatic. They don't even really understand what they're doing unless they are told that this is what they do and this is who they are. Then they can take responsibility for it and understand when they're doing these things and exerting this energy, that's what they're doing. They don't know that they're doing it because that's just who they are and that's just what they exist in. That's who they've always been. But once you bring it to their attention and you tell them, I think you're a shadow walker, and as a shadow walker, you're a walking trigger to people's darknesses, and that will sort of bring it to their attention and be like, that's why I've had such a dramatic life. That's why everyone around me sort of seems to just go crazy around me. I just didn't understand, I don't know that I'm doing it, and then that can bring awareness, because sort of with shadow walkers comes it could be a narcissistic energy, because they really do know how to manipulate time and space, and they don't know that they're doing it. So they're very powerful, and they feel that power, and sometimes they can be very afraid of that. It almost feels like a darkness inside of them. So shadow walkers are very important to the human society, but it is important also to let the shadow walkers know that they are shadow walkers so they can shadow walk responsibly. It's important to understand your power. That's the fifth dimensional energy, bringing through the knowledge of, this is who you are. This is where you came from. This is what you're here to do. Now go do your job, so that you're not confused. Because if you're a shadow walker, your life will be weaved in and out of chaos your whole entire life, because that's what you're there to ignite, is the chaos, right? Lighting that dark energy. And they're showing me, who's the god? Loki, the god of chaos, right? If you're a shadow walker, you should relate to Loki, because that's the same energy that they bring through. I feel like that's what he does. He just ignites the chaos in people. And you have to face that chaos. You have to understand that energy. And I was exposed to the shadow walker in your life just yesterday. And what did I tell you this morning? I told you my whole day was just what the hell is going on? I feel this crazy energy inside of me, and I couldn't figure out where it came from. But now that I'm channeling this information, I understand where it came from now. So when you're having those days that you're exposed to the shadow walker in your life, you will notice sort of a little higher anxiety days.
It makes a lot of sense when my daughter talks about how she feels a lot.
Yeah.
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 It would probably be really hard to have a relationship with a energy like that.
Yes, it would take. These are rebels. These are shadow walkers. They're in between light and dark. They're shadow walkers. They just walk in a reality that doesn't exist on this earth. They don't live in a reality that exists on this earth. They live in between, right? They come from the seventh dimension. They're shadow walkers. They can do and go places that don't exist, and it's very powerful. And if you don't have awareness of your power and your talents and your gifts, then you can use them irresponsibly.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's just because a young kid is growing up and didn't have a clue his whole life. There was like,
he knew he had some sort of power. He knew he did. His whole life, he knew. And when I read him for the first time and I was saying things about him, it was powerful. Like, he knew. He knew everything that I was telling him, and he was like, yeah, about his power. You know? So being aware of your power is one thing, but really with great power comes great responsibility. You know, us light workers, we have power too. We have great power, and you have to learn how to be responsible with it. You can't go healing every single person that you meet, right? You can't. It takes away from you. It's not your job. It's not what you're supposed to do. People need to come to you and ask for your help. So being a light worker has responsibility. Being a shadow walker has a lot of responsibility. And I urge you to pay attention to your dreams. If you are one of these shadow walkers, that really is, the seventh dimension is dreamland. You can control and manipulate time and space and go wherever you want. So really be responsible with your power. All of us humans have this beautiful power inside of us. Some do different jobs here on this earth, but we're all here to do something. And it is up to you to figure out what it is. What am I here to do? What am I here to do? And if it's for the advancement of humanity, just to let people know that there are bigger and better, there's bigger things out there. Like, stop thinking so small. Stop thinking so small. We can do whatever we want. We can create the biggest, brightest, most beautiful canvas, because now we know, we're aware that we have all of these powers. It's like we were painting in black and white, and all of a sudden we've been shown the rainbow of colors. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
We have all this stuff that we can do, that we can use to our advancement as a society, but not to make money off of, right? In the fifth dimension, we're not here to make money. It's not part of the fifth dimension. We're here to create a better society, a stronger society. And with a stronger society comes less money. Yeah. We don't need money. We need more human connection, more divine energy flow. And the money has brought problems since the beginning. It has been always fought over for power. It starts with minerals and gold and advances to human money, and now they're saying Bitcoin and things like that. You know, it's something that creates a lot of misguided power, not for the advancement of human society, but for the advancement of self.
Yeah.
So the fifth dimension is where we say, it's not my drive to make money. It's my drive to thrive. Yeah. I just want to thrive.
Yes.
I don't need $1 million to thrive. You know, I don't need it. Like, we can learn how to live simply and effectively. Like, we don't need all of the glitz and the glam and the shine, because I would much rather travel somewhere, take a vacation somewhere and experience culture than drive a fancy car. You know, like, all that money that we're putting towards these nice fancy things, the 30 years of paying off a house, you know, all the big giant bills that we stress about. We don't need all that fancy stuff. We don't need it. It just causes so much extra chaos in your life. We urge the humans to just learn how to live simply. Let's go back to homesteading. Let's go back to bartering with your neighbor. Let's come together as humanity and stop letting the corrupt... I don't want to say that out loud. Stop following the corruptness. Stop listening to the corruptness. Whatever they are saying is not the truth. It's not the truth. This fifth dimensional energy is the truth.
I know. I loved how you stopped yourself. You're like,
I'm like, nope. Oh, God. I'm glad I'm aware when I'm channeling. I might not remember when I'm channeling, but I'm definitely aware in the moment. And I'm like, no. Change that word, please. Edit.
I love that.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Lots of channeling going on today. Lots of channeling going on. And that was Avon, and he's very strong and very powerful. So I am feeling a little drained at the moment.
Yeah, it didn't take long at all. Not your average day of channeling.
Blue Avian energy is insane. And I've channeled it a few times before, a handful. But never like that. Never really as a collective. Only usually one guide.
Well, it felt like mini in here. When we walked in here, I'm like, I did not leave this room like this.
Yeah. No, that was fun. That was good. Okay. So, I don't know. Is there anything else we want to bring up and we want to talk about? I'm trying to think what's going on. I always like to bring messages from my personal life into, because I know that there's a collective. We're all going through the same things. So I do want to bring forward the energy of family, right? It's really hard when you're born into a family and you're really like conditioned and taught and programmed into this belief that no matter what, your family comes first, right? And sometimes we have to believe as energetic beings that come here to reincarnate over and over and over again and learn lesson after lesson after lesson, that can't be true. That there are certain people in our lives that aren't for the betterment of society, aren't for the betterment of humanity, and definitely aren't for the betterment of your soul, the advancement of your soul. And we have to be okay with that is their lesson that they're learning. That's their path. That's their experience. That's their thing, right? And we can't let ourselves get wrapped up and engulfed in that energy. Just because they are our born family does not mean we owe them loyalty when they are honestly representing every single thing that we try not to exist in, right? And if I've learned anything over the few years that I've been channeling, it's that if someone makes you feel yucky inside, you need to limit your time with that person, right? If your body is rejecting this human being, listen to your body. You can still love them. I still love this person. I just really don't need them in my life. I just don't, you know? And that, as a human, is really hard to accept. It's hard. Because at any moment, if that person called you and said, I've had a change of heart, I accept you for who you are, I love that you're doing so well, I want to support you, in a heartbeat, in an instant, my heart would open and I would allow that person back in my life. But until you exist in the energy of, I love everyone, I accept everyone, I just can't have you inside living in this very tight personal heart space, right? You're on the outside now. You've moved from the inside to the outside. I still hold love for you, but it's not that. My family is the family that I choose as my family. And the family that I choose, because I'm vibrating at such a level, they are top tier, high class, right? I have created with my own beautiful energy, I have vibrated to me family that is proving to be what family is supposed to be. Not blood. We have no blood. No blood relatives in my new family, right? Well, I do have blood relatives. I'm just saying, the family you create, it's not always blood, and those are the ones that you stay loyal to, right? Those are the ones that have proven themselves over and over and over again. You know, without a doubt, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you need them, they will be there, right? That is family, and that is loyalty, and that's the way of the new earth. It's creating our own little beautiful soul pods. We were born into this physical family for a reason, yes, but we were also born to birth these beautiful soul pod families with our members of our last 1,000 incarnations, right? Like, we are a soul pod. We are a family. I was born into maybe a family that wasn't ready to open their hearts and love and be evolution. Maybe I was the trigger for evolution, you know? And don't allow the people who you are supposed to be loyal to really just control your lives, when you know that you have created this own beautiful family soul pod that would never misguide you. Never misguide you.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean, and when you talk about all that, I mean, a lot of people probably don't even think about, like, they're not aware of all that until you hear somebody talk about that. Like, I have done that in my life. I have created that for myself. I do have that, you know, and family, you're absolutely correct. You do not have to be blood. And sometimes the best family you have, there's no kind of blood connection at all.
I know that the family that I've created supports me in every single me, who I authentically am. My soul pod, my family accepts me for every single little crazy thing that I have, right? My born family would prefer that maybe I behave in certain ways. And I'm not saying my family. I'm just making examples,
yes.
right? Like, maybe my family wants me to be this certain person and behave this certain way and believe these certain things. But this beautiful soul pod over here that I've just been drawn to and has vibrated to me out of nowhere, they accept me for exactly who I am, like whoever I am that day.
Yeah.
It could change, you know? And as long as I am doing the best for me, they support me, right? And that's family. And don't, it's like we have these preconceived notions that we have to believe this certain thing and we have to do this certain thing because that's what we're born into. So that's just who we are. But the fifth dimension is like, no, that's not who you are. That's who you were conditioned to be. That's who you were programmed to be by human society. You're not a human. You're living in a human suit, but you are not a human. You are an evolved ancient being wearing your human spacesuit. So believe and trust and feel your way through your life in the best way you can, and don't allow the things that you have been programmed to believe to hold you back from what your true north really is.
That's a beautiful message.
Yeah, it's like run, Forrest, run. Go.
Yeah.
Do it. Like, if I would have been everything my family wanted me to be, I'd be miserable.
Yeah. There's nothing more free than just allowing yourself to be who you truly are in your most authentic way. You are literally suffocated by always trying to be what somebody else thinks you should be or wants you to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of old ways of thinking on the earth. And a lot of us are born into this new dimension. We're just born different. We're born to believe in something different. And we never fit in, right? We're the black sheep. We just...
Yeah.
There's Kristi again. Fucking crazy ass Kristi.
I will tell you, in my family, literally, old religious beliefs, and I am the black sheep. I'm
Yeah,
the only one
100%.
but my children, like my youngest, has more of my belief system than the other two. But I can totally see where, like, my aunt's like, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Like, oh, that makes me so sad. But she still supports me. So at least, she still loves me. My sister is completely into religion. She's happy there. She's happy in her beliefs, which I'm happy for her. My middle sister, I don't even know what she believes, but we don't talk about, this kind of thing because, she's not religious, but she's kind of in between where she fits in, and if I start talking about everything, she's like, well, where do you get your information from? It's more like the detective in her. She's an ex-cop, so it's really hard.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
So it's, we do not talk about personal beliefs.
No. But with your soul pod,
I could talk about anything and find acceptance.
we are soul pod.
Yes.
We are soul pod.
Yeah.
We accept each other for exactly who they are and the choices that we make. And we might not like them. We might be like, oh, damn it. Shouldn't have done that. But we're like, man, I love you. I love you. And I want you to do whatever you need to do, because whatever you need to do is right for you at that moment in time. Right?
Yeah.
And you need to do that for whatever you are trying to learn,
It's like our spiritual soul family. And the thing is we all align in some form, if not every form, in our beliefs, but in a lot of our beliefs. And we know that there's a lesson. There's a reason why we choose our experiences, and we are not the same. Nobody has the same experience.
Nope.
So what you would do in your experience may not align with what I would do in my experience, and vice versa. So you have to be careful when you're talking to people or you're trying to seek out advice, because what's right for them is not always going to be what's right for you.
Yes. I urge you, if you really have a deep question that you need answered, to go to someone who has a very open mind. If you're going to someone who's always going to see one side of things, you're not going to get the truth, right? You need to go to someone who has an open mind, who has an open, wide variety of experiences, and really ask them, what would you do in this situation? If it were you and you were put in this situation, what would you do as an open-minded person, as someone that I look up to, right? And see what their experience is and take that to heart, and then be like, okay, I think I'm ready to make my decision. And it'll be within your heart, right? Whatever's in your heart. And then your mind tells you, no, that's not safe. That's stupid. That's risky. That's, this right here just keeps telling you, do it. But your brain is like, don't do it. Don't do it. So this right here, this is what should guide you through life. There should be no more arguments between the brain and the heart, because the heart is leading. The intuition and the heart, this area, very, very, very important in the advancement of human society.
Absolutely.
Okay? Also very important is staying grounded, because us light workers, sometimes we can get a little too high. Okay? And we have to remember that we are still humans.
Yes.
We are here for this human experience. Not everything is about aliens and light and consciousness. And sometimes you got to go ride a dirt cart. What are they cart?
Dirt bike?
I don't know.
I
don't know why that popped in my head.
But it's funny how I don't know what exactly you mean, but when you said dirt cart and stuff, I started thinking about a four-wheeler.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I was trying.
Because my husband has been trying to get me to go on a four-wheeler ride, because he has one. He likes to go back roading and just like in the woods. And
yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So
it's funny that you just, it's like, you're just telling me to go.
Yeah, go. That's crazy. I was like, I don't even know what this word is. I can just see it. A dirt cart. What's a dirt cart?
It's obvious that might have been a channel message for me.
That's so funny. So yeah, don't forget that you're a human and you get to experience and do all these beautiful, wonderful things. Stop trapping yourself indoors. It's nice outside. So go climb a mountain, go climb a hill, go take a walk in the woods, go to the lake, go walk somewhere and experience all the beautiful energy that is here for you to grab onto. And I feel like I've said that a million times.
But it's beautiful every time you say it. Just a little heads up for our viewers, and because we've been talking about like my husband in like certain ways, like in the past few podcasts. And so, if you've been following us and watching our past podcasts, you will know that I have been through some major transitions. My husband and I had separated for a few months, and he had decided he started his healing journey and has made a lot of changes for his growth and for his evolution. And so we have come back together and have started a new journey. Like we literally jumped timelines, and I don't think I was not in a place where I thought that would ever be the case for me. So I just wanted to update you guys that
go on the dirt cart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go on the dirt cart.
Yeah. Dirt cart. The four-wheeler.
That's it. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's be thankful for the advancement of the evolution of humanity. Right?
I am super proud. I am super proud of our growth, where we've come with our podcast, where we're going. And we've had beautiful messages about the advancement of our podcast and reaching people and not getting stuck on how many views we have or how many subscribers. I thank each individual that tunes in and watches us. You are truly appreciated. We love you. We love all of humanity, and we're here for the growth and for the evolution.
Yes.
I just love people. I mean, I love people to an extent.
It's a new affirmation that I have. I love humans. I love humans. I love them. I love humans. Because even though we literally believe in light and love, there are some shadows that we're all trying to work through. And hating stupid humans is one of them.
And it's hard because if you're in a place where you're working around a lot of people, or you see people of all different walks of life, and you may not agree or align with certain people, but like if something happened to them in the store, I would still be concerned. I still have love. I still want what's best for everybody. I still want peace. I still want happiness for everybody. But when I see people
they start acting up,
when I see people not acting in a loving, divine way, it's hard to show compassion at that moment. But I do try to hold compassion and love for all of humanity.
Mine is narcissism. It drives me insane.
Yeah.
And we have been channeling that the veil is thinning.
Yeah.
And it's like so obvious to me now. Everywhere I look, I'm like, oh, they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yes.
You know? And it's hard not to get affected by that energy. That is a very hard energy to not be affected by. And I struggle. It's in my family lineage, you know? Like, it's hard. I can see how I could be narcissistic sometimes, you know? Where I have to really be like, Kristi Lynn, what is your problem? Why are you behaving like that? What is going through your mind, you know? And really, like, narcissism is a huge thing that goes on. And okay, so we channeled, was it yesterday, that certain religions actually
that was
create narcissism because you are told that you are born a sinner and you can never live up to, you know, standards of a certain God, right? And that creates narcissism, right? Like you have really hard parents and you can never live up to their expectations creates narcissism, right? So having this very powerful God, knowing that you were born a sinner and every single day you must repent for your sins or I will throw you into a pit of fire, every day trying to prove yourself over and over and over to this God, this narcissistic God. Like, it creates narcissism. That's how so many of these, I was trying to figure out where it came from in my lineage. I just could not figure out, like, where did this come from, you know? And trying to live up to God's expectations it's like living up to impossible parent standards.
You're absolutely right.
So that's why there are so many narcissists that exist on this earth today, because that's really what religion, certain religions have created, is that bowing down to a narcissist.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's I'm glad you put it that way, because you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I can see that.
We are supposed to understand that the God, the creator, whoever they are, is like a giant, inconceivable source of unconditional love that we were birthed from, and has no concept of what judgment is at all. So it doesn't matter what you do, where you go, you always get another chance.
Yes.
Over and over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. The God that I've come to understand, all that is creator, would never send you into a burning pit of fire.
No.
They would say, okay, babe, you didn't learn your lesson this time. You're going to get another chance. And another chance and another chance. But it doesn't mean that our actions don't go sort of unbalanced or punished.
Nope. You live out karma.
It's karma. So God is not punishing you. God does not punish people. God does not judge you. And God does not send you to hell. It does just not something that exists. Hell and heaven are what you create here on this beautiful earth. You know, you can live in hell over here where you're grumpy all the time and you have anxiety all the time and you're fearful all the time and you don't leave your house and you just like isolate yourself. That would be considered hell, right? But if you evolve into this beautiful conscious being that you were born to be, you were born into sin. You were born into pure consciousness. You are pure consciousness, and you could never fail in the eyes of any creator. So let's take the pressure off, people. Like, let's take the pressure off. You do not have to live up to this narcissistic father figure that you have been trained, who sacrificed his own son. Like, I don't want to. I love my child. And there's not one thing in this world that you could tell me that would make me desire to
take their life.
Yes.
Yeah. No. The only life I would ever take is one that was trying to harm myself or one of my children.
And I would have a hard time with that.
I would have a very hard time.
I need some therapy.
I don't ever want to think about it. Like, it would literally hurt
therapy.
Me. I can't imagine ever taking a life. I don't care who they are.
There's a lot of life taking in that book of life that we have been trained to
yes, there is.
Realize the truth. And I don't want nothing to do with it.
No.
It's not the way that I choose to live my life. That is not the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is, I'll say the red words.
Yeah. I don't want to ever be tested in that way. Yeah. That's not something I would ever want.
Christ consciousness. Mm-hmm. That's what we're bringing to the earth. If you, on a human level, fifth dimensional energy, new earth energy, Christ consciousness. You know, that's the real, Christ is back. Christ is back. He's already here. It's Christ consciousness, and we're born into it, and it's up to us to realize it and connect to it and stop letting all this old programming rule who you are. Connect to the Christ consciousness.
And on that note.
Okay, done ranting. I love you all.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Thank you.